Hello everyone, I'm Rob Just, and here I am again at Baldwinsville Theater Guild with Catherine Woods, Managing Director of the theater. This is probably what, our fifth, sixth, seventh time here? Yeah. It's become standard. Every new show we come here and we like to talk about the show, meet the cast, give you guys, the audience, a chance to meet the cast before the show. Before we get into the show that's coming up, how's the season going? And where are we in the season?
So this is our last show of the season, so we are very excited. It's a great show, great cast, great director, very, it's an interesting show. So, but I will let Chris and Colin possibly address that when they come in. So it is our last season, but our show of the season. But we did just announce at the beginning of September our 2024 season, and it is an incredible season this year. So in January and early February, we're doing Forever Plaid, which is an amazing show with 1960s kind of male music, male choral music, barbershop quartet style type stuff. And then we will have the first of our cabarets in April. We're doing a speakeasy serenade, a Prohibition cabaret, so it'll be all music from the 1920s and early 1930s during the Prohibition era. And then we go right into August Osage County in May with Adam Shatra as our director. And I did forget to mention, we have for Forever Plaid, CNY theater legend Bob Brown coming to direct for us. So we're very excited about that.
Cool.
So then after Osage County, we go right into our summer youth program. And our summer youth program is going to be the SpongeBob musical, which we're hoping to get a lot of kids to do. And shortly after, so that will be in July. And then in August, I had to think for a minute, we are doing our first ever junior program with a 2-week camp for kids. So after the end of the 2 weeks, they will perform Junie B. Jones Jr. And then we will have our second cabaret installment, which will be a fairy tales and superhero type music. So it's enchantment, an evening of enchantment. So fairy tales, songs, and stories. And then after that, we will go into Pippin in October, November. And then we finish off the year with our final cabaret of the series. It will be a Jingle Bell Jam. So as you can tell, it'll be a Christmas-themed cabaret. We are going to encourage everybody to wear their ugly sweaters and have an ugly sweater contest. So we are very excited about our season. It is phenomenal. Kate Lemos Brown will be directing the Pippin, and Sarah Windhausen will be back, of course, for our summer programs this year.
Oh, so okay. So before that, let's get to this show coming up.
Yes.
What is it?
So it's Almost Maine by John Karani, and it is basically a vignette show where the entire show is made up of small little stories that take place in Almost Maine and the mystic magic that happens as a result of the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, okay.
So, and I will let Chris Spring,
yes.
So I will let Chris Spring and the cast talk a little bit more about that.
So when is this?
So we open October 13th. It'll be the 13th, 14th, 15th, and then the following weekend, which is the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So our Friday and Saturday nights are at 7:30. Our Sunday matinees are at 3 o'clock. Our tickets are $22 for adults, $18 for students, and you can get our tickets by calling our box office, 315-546-5234, or going online to baldwinsvilletheaterguild.org. And as I always say, it's theater R-E, not E-R.
Well,
see, I'm a pro at this.
Those are all my questions. You don't even need me here. Now this play is kind of not real well known. It wasn't on Broadway, was it?
It was on Broadway at one point. It is actually pretty well known within the theater community. A lot of people really clamor to do this if they get the chance. So we have one of our actresses who actually helps Colin, Katie, and our artistic director up at the high school. This is her first time back on stage in, I don't know how many years she said, but it was because of this show that she came back to audition. So
well, I did a little, at before each of these interviews, I do a little research on it, and I did see some clips from it, and it looks really good.
It is very
Really
good. It's quirky, so which is kind of neat. And sometimes you scratch your head of what's going on, and then it kind of comes into place at the end.
Kind of
each
in the
scene.
romantic comedy genre, but not your typical rom-com.
Correct. It is
Very, very good,
Very,
yeah.
very good. Yes.
So there you have it, everyone. Get on the website to learn more about Almost Maine and all of next year too. And I guess we're going to be talking to some cast members in a few minutes,
And our director.
the director, artistic director. So thanks for your time,
Thank you.
and we'll be back in a few minutes.
All right. Sounds good.
Pete,
Yeah,
I'm having a nice time, Pete.
I'm glad, Jeanette.
I always do with you.
I'm glad.
And the stars are just, I didn't know you knew all that stuff for all this
it's
time. I
nothing.
didn't
It's
knew all
just stuff
that.
I've learned from my dad. So.
Pete,
Yeah.
I love you.
Well, I love you too, Jeanette.
Oh,
Oh, are you cold? Do you
no,
wanna
no,
go
no,
outside?
no. I just want to sit like this. Close. I feel so close to you tonight. It's nice to be close to you, Pete. It's safe. I like being close. Like this. I mean, I can think of other ways of being close to you, but that's not, I like this right now. This kind of close. Right next to you. You know, right now I think I'm about as close to you as I can possibly be.
Well, not really.
What?
Not really. I mean, if you think about it, you're actually about as far away from me as you possibly can be. I mean, if you think about it technically, if you're assuming the world is round like a ball, like a snowball.
Hi, we're back, and I am joined with Chris Spring over to my far right, who is the director of Almost Maine, and to my immediate right is Colin Keating, who is the artistic director. And I'm hoping you'll tell us what that means. But I'm going to start with Chris. What is Almost Maine? We got a quick, brief 20-second
Okay.
intro, but give us a little bit more.
All right. So Almost Maine is a very poignant play written by John Cariani, who's a brilliant playwright in my opinion. Almost, comma, Maine represents a town,
Right.
in Maine, although it's not really a town. As one character says, they're not even organized enough to be on the map.
Okay.
So, but he does say that it's set way up, in the northern part of Maine near Canada. So it's far from the shore, a lot of pine trees, a lot of moose, and that's where this play is set. But what we find through reading and watching this play is that these people are very much like us. We have the same experiences of life. The play is constructed with 9 little vignettes that are their own little story arc and their own little short story, but together they represent this town, and the people in each play, each little scene, know the people in the other scenes, so we really get a sense of community.
Oh, okay.
And at the base, it's a love story. Each scene deals with love in some way.
Now, what's your role?
So I'm the artistic director for Baldwinsville Theater Guild, which means I kind of oversee the entire arc of our seasons and our shows, how we put things together, kind of our artistic through line, and I work with directors and potential cast members. We hold our auditions, which we've got some big auditions coming up, October 18, 19, and 22nd for next year. So, Chris and I had started speaking about a handful of maybe different shows that she was interested in, and this is one of the shows that she was really interested in working on here. And I just love the simplicity of it. Mm-hmm. As theater people, we want our audience to feel empathy as they're watching the show. We want them to feel like they can maybe see their self reflected in characters. And I think just because of the sweet, simple poignancy of this show, it is one really where that is an easy thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
to see a bit of ourselves in each of these characters. So.
Is it a musical?
It is not a musical.
Okay.
It's a play with music.
It's a way with
Play
music.
with music. Okay, I like that.
So there is no singing and dancing, but it comes with a soundtrack essentially, and the music that has been written is really very sweet, and it elevates the storytelling.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's really the director's job to kind of pick and choose from the available songs and to use between the scenes and to have it fit with the tone of what
And
the
it
actors are
really, the
doing.
music really does help the play flow along. Each scene flows into the next. The entire play takes place in 10 minutes from 8:50 p.m. to 9 p.m. on a Friday night in January.
Okay.
So each scene is happening at the exact same time.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we get to see, glimpses into people's windows and people's yards as they're having these different discussions with.
That's got to be difficult from a semantics point of view to get that point across to the audience that here's 10 minutes, the next 2 hours is only 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think that John Cariani does it in a pretty brilliant way, and it also, I'm sure, I know that when I have seen the play in the past and even watching the rehearsals, it just, you feel like no time has gone by.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure at the end of the play, people are going to say, wow, where did that hour and a half go? Yeah.
Now, does this take a larger cast than normal?
We have a cast of 11 actors, and they play the roles of 19 different characters.
Okay.
So they're, that's a challenge to an actor as well. How do we make this character distinct from this other one? And they're working really hard at that. A very, very talented cast that I have the pleasure to work with.
They are wonderful.
I laugh every day in rehearsal, and I know the lines by heart. So it's
Right.
when someone's going to see it fresh for the first time, there are some very funny parts, and there's some very sad parts, very touching parts.
This isn't your first endeavor with BTG, is it?
I worked on costumes for the Laramie project,
Oh, okay.
and then my daughter was in productions when she was younger. So I have come to many BTG shows.
Okay.
So it's been part of my life. It's neat to be taking on this role as director for the first time.
But Chris
here.
is a theater veteran in this area, a lot of experience working
With community theater and
Mostly high school theater, public high school theater. So I directed at Liverpool High School.
so that's your life outside of BTG?
I'm a retired teacher.
Is a retired teacher,
Yeah.
okay.
And so we were able to seize
Right.
that. She's a Beeville resident who is just a lot of passion for theater, and we're so happy to have her helming this sweet little show for us.
And our community is very lucky to have BTG.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you two knew each other prior to this.
We did. I taught her children,
Okay.
and she's worked on some of the shows with us here in Baldwinsville.
So you're an educator too,
I am an
in your
educator
real life
here
outside of BTG.
in Baldwinsville.
Okay.
Yeah, my real life. Yeah.
Now, as the artistic director, you get in on the conversations on picking and choosing the shows and.
Yeah, I'm leading those conversations,
Okay.
and
So, how much do you guys try to put, like, the 5 or 6 shows that you have, that they kind of go together or don't? Or, I mean, is there any type
Sure.
of thought process that, well, we did this, so, you know what I'm saying?
I think that for our upcoming season, the goals that Catherine and I had in choosing a season were to try to find some appeal for everyone, the performers, the audience, designers, directors. The styles of the show are all very different. Sometimes we can consider some sort of a thematic through line.
Okay.
I think it's hard sometimes to allow our community and our audience to see that. But we also, we have a really specific space here at BTG, and so picking shows that will fit in our tiny, cozy little theater is a very specific thing. It's hard for us to do some of these show-stopping large musicals. So we get creative about how it is that we can design a show, and when we feel like we've got the right show with the right director in our space, then we start talking about how we can piece it into programming a season.
Now, your typical show, how many people are involved? Whether it's behind the scenes, out on the street getting tickets sold, actors, actresses, you guys, directors. I mean, I think that this is going to shock a lot of people.
Well, I can't come up with a number, but I will say that, and I was just thinking about this, and I was going to bring it up, that no show is possible without all of the people that are behind the scenes.
Right.
Putting the publicity out. In particular, I like to shout out the designers of the set and the people who, will put in the endless hours that it takes to get the lighting instruments in the right place so that what you see, what the audience sees on stage is, a thing of beauty, and you're taken to this other world because of all of the hours that are put into design and build and paint and plan the lighting, and it doesn't just happen.
And then we have our
And
box office staff and our
Costumes
ushers and our
alone.
costumes
Costumes,
and
yeah.
props and
Yeah.
painting, sound.
So I just asked because I've been involved with backstage theater over the years, and set building, could be 10 people involved in the costumes and getting people dressed in and out of scenes.
Oh
So
yeah,
when
you can be looking at upwards of 30, 40 people behind the
right,
scenes
and
helping
so
to
when,
pull it
when you're
together.
coming to what looks like a small community theater, at the local church, and the cast is maybe only 8 to 10 people,
Yeah.
I don't think the public realizes that there's
a lot
40
more
to
people.
45, 50
Sure.
people
Making
working,
it happen.
15, 20,
Volunteering.
30 hours a
Volunteers.
week, and
Yeah.
everything, I was about to say, that everything's on a volunteer basis here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really does speak to, like, we have such a great thing going with our arts community here in Baldwinsville, from the elementary school productions that are happening all the way up through, things that we're doing here, and the excitement that our community shows for theater at all levels, and music and marching band and concerts, and we're just so lucky to live in a community that is so saturated with the arts.
And it's really, though, I think it's the whole county. I mean, it's just, the arts are so strong here.
Nah, who cares about that?
Yeah, that's right.
And I
We just-
think-
We're here to
just
talk
here
about
in Baldwin.
Baldwinsville.
And I think testament to that is that we do have people in our show who have traveled. And
Right, right.
travel a couple times a week for rehearsals from Oswego and other parts of the county, and are rushing here after they get out of their jobs. This is a new experience for me because I was used to working with high school kids, right? But the fact that our cast and some of our designers are fitting this in to their very, very busy lives speaks to how important they feel theater is, and the joy we get out of creating.
So, it's not just the cast that have the passion, it's everyone else, from the ticket seller to selling things, selling the ads in the playbill. I mean, it takes a passion of great magnitude to pull something like this off.
It's a great community. It's a great way to connect with people and, share this passion that we have.
So there you have it. October 13th starts it. Catherine told you how to get tickets. Get them early. They usually go very fast, and they're probably almost all gone. So get on the website, give a phone call. And Chris and Colin, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
And now we're going to head out and hopefully catch some cast members.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer. And closer.
Hello.
Hello.
I thought I saw someone. I was about to go to bed. I saw you from my window. Is there something I can do for you?
Oh, no, I'm just here to see the Northern Lights.
Okay. Okay, it's awful late and you're in my yard.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was in anybody's yard.
Well,
I thought I was just in a random field.
it used to be a potato field, but now it's my yard.
Oh, well, you have a really big yard.
I guess.
Well, I hope you don't mind that I'm here. I'll only be here tonight. I'll see them tonight, the Northern Lights, and then I'll be gone. I hope you don't mind.
Is that your tent?
Yes.
You've pitched a tent
I have
in my
to-
yard.
after I see them. I didn't know I was in somebody's yard. I hope you don't mind.
Well, it's not that I mind.
Do you mind?
Well, I don't know if I mind.
Oh, no, I think you mind.
No, it's not that I mind.
No, you do. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think you would. I didn't think, you see, it says in your brochure
My brochure?
that people from Maine wouldn't mind. It says that people from Maine are different, that they live life the way life should be, and that in the tradition of their brethren in rural northern climes like Scandinavia, they'll let people who are complete strangers, like cross-country skiers and bikers and hikers, camp out in their yard if they need to, for nothing. They'll just let you. I'm a hiker. Is it true?
Well,
That they'll just let you stay in their yards if you need to? Because I need to. Camp out. Because I'm where I need to be. This is the farthest I've ever traveled. I'm from a part of the country that's a little closer to things. I've never been this far north before, or east. And did you know that Maine is the only state in the country that's attached to only one other state? It is.
Feels like the end of the world, and here I am at the end of the world, and I have nowhere to go. So I was counting on staying here. Unless it's not true. I mean, is it true?
well,
Would you let a hiker who was where she needed to be just camp out in your yard for free? I mean, if a person really needed to, really needed to.
well, if a person really needed to, then sure, but...
Oh, I'm so glad then. Thank you. Sorry about that. Sorry.
It's okay.
I just really need to be here and do this, so thanks.
Sure.
Well, we're back. I'm here with 8, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 members of the cast, which is, I think, most of the cast. I'm not going to go through everyone's name because I don't know everyone's name and I'll butcher your name anyway. So why don't we start at the very end? Tell us your real life name. Tell us your name in the play and a quick 15, 20-second introduction to your character. Or characters, I guess it is. So maybe just your name and who you are in the play.
Okay. I like that better. My name is Amy Prieto, and I am in 2 of the 9 vignettes, so I am playing a woman named Marcy and a woman named Sandrine.
My name is Aubrey Panic, and I play Gail and Dina and Villian.
My name is Marshall Pokrentowski. I'm in 2 of the scenes. I play East and Lendl.
My name is Mira Mosby. I'm also in 2 of the scenes, and I play Rhonda and Shelley.
My name is Elise Christ, and I am a character called Hope.
Hi, I'm Thomas Tong, and I'm 2 characters. I play Dave and Steve.
Hi, I'm John Triana, and I am playing Phil. I'm in 1 of the vignettes.
I'm Nolan Hogenboom. I'm playing Jimmy and Randy.
Great, thank you everyone. All right, now you can just kind of raise your hand or blurt out, the answer is, of the characters that everyone's playing, how similar is your character to you in real life? Who wants to answer? Anybody?
I would say a little bit of both. And one of my characters may be a little more similar, but one of them was a little more out of my comfort zone. So it's been a fun and interesting challenge to try to play someone who I maybe wouldn't normally play or haven't typically played in previous productions.
Was that difficult to do?
Yeah, it still is. But we're working on it.
Good, good. Anybody else? No? That's okay, that's okay.
No, I'd say similarly. I feel like one of the characters, Lendl, that I play, I definitely, the mannerisms he has are a lot more similar to the way I act in real life. But the other character is more, I think, how I kind of talk as a human being. So it's interesting that there are traits in both that I see myself in, but the whole picture isn't quite there.
Okay. Anyone else going once?
I'll say.
All right.
My characters are very different in the spectrum of love. So on one end, I am just getting into a wedding, getting married.
Okay.
And on the other side, I'm sort of exiting a marriage. And so it's playing those different roles and sort of relating to both of them. It's interesting, for sure.
All right, good. Now, the theater scene is very, very tight-knit. We had this discussion earlier. Did any of you guys know each other before this show? So you had done plays together and...
Nope, I met everyone for at the first rehearsal.
So this show here is first... Oh, okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I think a little bit from other walks of life. A few of us have met before, but largely I think we're fairly new to each other.
And who's, of everyone here, whose first BTG show is this? Wow, okay, awesome. So they're doing something right to get now let's go really quick from
Speed round.
far right all the way here. What is your job in real life outside of the theater? Go ahead, real quick.
I'm an executive assistant.
I own a gift shop.
I'm a middle school music teacher.
Marketing and communications for a library.
I am a bank teller.
I'm a server.
Medical assistant.
I work at a public radio station.
I thought we would have had more educators. Okay. And I think we're going to start, well, let's start here and go down. Everyone, I'm assuming you've done many, many shows in the central New York area or outside of the area, correct, everyone? No?
Not quite.
Okay. Have you done more than one?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to know what has been your favorite role to date? And it can be a non-VPG show, they won't mind. Your favorite role, you guys are at an advantage down there because you get time to think about it, so sorry, but start right here, your favorite role of all time.
There's a lot fewer to choose from. I hadn't done any of this since high school, and it was a great way to get back into it, I think. I was Lurch in the Addams Family. That was a lot of fun. But I know it sounds a little, that I'm not being genuine to say it, but yes, I think this show actually might be my favorite. It's been a favorite of mine for a long time, and I'm really happy to have the opportunity to be a part of it.
My favorite role, Macbeth.
Okay.
I've done a lot, but not really in New York because I'm from Chicago. So I've done a lot of shows in Chicago. I would have to say it would be Once Upon a Mattress.
I think my favorite role was Olive in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. A lot of fun, a lot of improv.
I would say I was in Bright Star here at BTG in 2019, and I had a lot of fun with that role. I played Lucy, so that was a good time.
My favorite role has been Albert in Bye Bye Birdie.
Adelaide and Guys and Dolls.
Dolly Levi in The Matchmaker.
All right. Anyone have anything else to add about the show before we let you guys get on to your rehearsal?
Come see it.
That's great. That was my line.
Come see it. It's all different aspects and views on relationships and love, and I think that everyone who comes can relate to one of the vignettes and some of the characters, and I think it's also really fun to watch, as an audience member, to watch actors play different characters, just to see how they are different. So I think it's a really great time. It's a great date night. It's a great family show.
Awesome.
What she said.
And this, we've been here, I think we said 5 or 6 times. We've interviewed cast members before other shows. This is the first time we had, typically it's 1 or 2 or 3 cast members. This is the first time we had everyone who's here tonight. We didn't know how it would go, but I think the audience got a great look into not just the show, but the passion you guys have and how close-knit you guys are from only spending a few weeks, a couple months together. So I want to thank you, and I will see you October 13th or 14th. One of those days I'll be coming. And the public, once again, get online, call the box office, get your tickets. They're going fast. You really don't want to miss this. It's going to be an unbelievable show. And with that, we'll say goodnight, and you guys can get back to rehearsal.
Thank you.
Thank you.